that, you know what we gotta do. Yeah, we gotta do our bird of the day. Yeah. What's that? There's no bird of the day today? I'm sorry, my producer is telling me that there is no bird of the day today. How about... Oh, we still have to go to the screen? Still have to go to the screen. What? Ah! Harvest twigs, beard creel. Ah! That's right. There's no bird of the day today. Because today, the bird is all birds. That's right. You fine folks submitted to me your best bird questions. And tonight, I'm gonna answer them. Yeah, that's right. So got a few questions from Twitter and a bunch of questions from the Discord, and we're gonna answer them. Oh, this is gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. All the questions that you have about birds, I'm gonna answer. It's gonna be enlightening. It's gonna be hopefully entertaining. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a good time. A real good time. So, we might as well hop right into it. We're gonna do the first question coming up right now. Jack Rhapsody asks, are birds real? Now, okay. So, it's been a rumor that's been going around lately saying that birds aren't real, that birds are made up, and all birds that we see are just government drones. Well, I'm here to tell you, birds are real. I am real. I see many birds every day. I can say, absolute, with 100% certainty, birds are real. I mean, think about it. The technology to create drones, that doesn't go back too far. I mean, little flying autonomous things, record video and spy on things. I mean, come on. Technology just hasn't been around that long. Like, I mean, what? Mid-1900s at the very earliest. And those ones were, I mean, like the drone you see on the right, that's a pretty recent thing. So, the technology to make a fake bird, well, that's something that's pretty recent. But you look at history, look at the historical texts, they talk about birds a lot. Telling me in the days of ancient Greece they had the technology to... Okay, maybe they did in the burning of maybe the Library of Alexandria had detailed records on how to build a bird drone. But that was destroyed. And since then, they definitely did not have the technology to build bird drones. Definitely didn't see it. That wasn't the case. No. Now, do they have the technology today? Oh yeah. So, if we were to add the word all into the are birds real question, are all birds real? Oh no. And the thing is, there's government drones that look like birds out there. That's not a fact. That's not a rumor, not a conspiracy theory. Oh yeah, that's happening. Most birds you see, oh yeah, are real. What do you think the government did? They saw us. They're like, oh, look at those birds. Those guys, they know what they're doing. We should copy them. So of course, government spy drones are going to make them look like birds. Because, I mean, they can blend in with the existing population. And they're already the perfect specimen. So yeah, why wouldn't they? Just be careful out there. Gonna feed a bird? Make sure it's a real bird. Charge on power. Oh yeah. That's how they do it. Spooky stuff. Stay safe out there, folks. Stay safe out there. Alright, next question. From Ren Kanazuki. How many birds are worthy of the magnificent legacy of the dinosaur? Oh, well, that's a good question. My answer, in short, is all of them, of course. Dinosaurs are cool. birds are cool, but I think some birds are definitely more worthy of the legacy than others. And here we have a little picture of some of them. We got the chicken. Oh yeah, they're little dinos. The shoebill. Oh, you go and see my old episode on the shoebill. Yeah, that's a scary one. The cassowary. Oh, the cassowary. Would I rather be trapped in a room with a velociraptor or a cassowary? Give me that velociraptor. Whew. Those cassowaries? Yeah. And of course, the ostrich. Yeah, pretty dino-like. Yeah. So, which birds are worthy of the magnificent legacy of the dinosaur? Well, all of them. We're all descended from dinosaurs. But I have to say, large birds that have those kind of long, scaly feet and are, big flightless birds, yeah, I'd say they're the most worthy. And if I had to pick one specific bird species that is the most worthy, yeah, I think I'd have to go with the cassowary. I'm definitely going to be covering them on one of my upcoming streams, so look out for that. Yeah. How many birds are worthy? Well, all of them. All the birds. That's right. Now, next question. This one is from my good friend Sylvia Slugger. How do you tell the difference between boy birds and girl birds? Well, Sylvia, that's actually a really difficult question to answer. Because the best answer I can give is, it depends. So, here we see pictured a male cardinal and a female cardinal. So, in this case, pretty easy to tell the difference. The male cardinals have a bigger crest on the back of their head, and their feathers are going to be a much more vibrant red color than the often, tan with bits of red that you see in the females. But that's just cardinals. Cardinals are just one of many, many thousands of different bird species. And so gender differences, or I suppose this would be more of a sex difference, because, obviously, difference between sex and gender. So, if we're talking about the sex of the bird, some bird species, like the pictured cardinal here, also, you'll see it often in ducks. You'll see it in a lot of, peacocks. Covered them earlier. Yeah. Noticeable differences there. There's big differences between the males and the females. In some species, the male is bigger. In some species, the female is bigger. In most species where there's a difference, the males tend to have brighter, more vibrant, and more elaborate feather patterns. That's because men usually use them as a mating display. But that's not true of all birds. But typically, more often than not, the males of the species will have much brighter and more vibrant plumage. But that's the thing. It's not always the case. It's not. And in most bird species where there's a difference, the male is larger than the female. But it's not always the case. There are species where the females are bigger. We had talked about the peregrine falcon in an earlier episode, and female peregrines are bigger than their male counterparts. So even when there are differences, those differences are absolutely not consistent between bird species. So in the cases where you do have those differences, it's like, well, how do you tell the difference? Well, Google is your friend. Look it up. There's a lot of great online sources, and, if there is a difference between the sexes in that particular bird species, do a little bit of research and you'll figure it out. There's just too many to go through. But then you've got the issue of, what about the species where there's not a whole lot of difference? And in fact, one of those species is the American crow. At a first glance, you can't tell if a crow is a boy or a girl. Unless, you're also a crow, and, we have our ways. We just kind of know. But to humans, most of us just all kind of look alike, and you're not going to be able to tell at a look whether you're dealing with a male or a female. Now, if you just saw it lay an egg, pretty good chance that's a female. That's a good thing. If you see a bird lay an egg, that's a female bird. But other than that, really, only way to go is to do a violation of that bird's privacy. Look down there. Yeah. So wouldn't be recommended. And honestly, unless you are a bird yourself, the sex of the bird doesn't matter. They're good birds. Treat them well, treat them nice, and if you're not 100% sure, just use they them pronouns. Easy. So, how do you tell the difference between boy birds and girl birds? Well, yes. Do a little research, and if you're not sure, just ask. We're friendly. Alright, next question. Why do pigeons not give a single caw about humans' presence? Well, thank you, Lorena Valarin. That's a good question. Pigeons. They are, So, pigeons are... How do I put this nicely? Pigeons are the rednecks of the bird world. They just don't give a fuck. Sky rats? Yeah. Part of it is, they do have a lot to do with... there's just so many of them. And, I think it depends on how they were raised, These pigeons are all around, and they'll come across hundreds or even thousands of humans a day, and for the most part, those humans are probably not going to hurt them. No big deal. Just walk on by. And those humans often have food with them. Oh yeah, these pigeons, they're very, very food-driven. So by being around humans and not being too scared of them, it probably means they're more likely to get those little morsels of food, and, I like to think that most humans probably aren't going to intentionally hurt a pigeon. Now, there are some sickos out there. But yeah, pigeons, kind of dumb. A lot of them. They like food. They're just everywhere. They're everywhere. Don't get me wrong. I got some pigeons that I know, but it's just like, why? But how do I say this without sounding awful? Well, I guess, I don't know the exact answer to this question, but why do they not give a single caw? It's because they don't need to. They don't need to give a caw. They're just, they get on by just fine, and it's just like, if they gave a caw, they'd be too depressed, and they're just like, you know what, our area was taken over by humans, and whatever, we're just going to adapt, because if we don't adapt, we'll go extinct. And they're just like, screw it, the humans are here now, we're just going to deal with it. So, I don't know, maybe they have a better attitude. Crows kind of done that too. We've learned to adapt around humans, but we're a little smarter, a little more skittish. This is probably why there's way more pigeons killed by humans than there are caws. So, I don't know. Why do they not give a caw about human presence? Maybe it's just because they're dumb. Yeah, we'll go with that. They're dumb. Alright. Philip J. Fry. In Corvus's opinion, what came first? The chicken or the egg? Well, thank you, Philip J. Fry, for your question. So, this is an age-old question. What came first? Chicken or the egg? Well, a simple understanding of evolutionary biology would tell you that at some point there was a mutation, and what happened is that a ancestor of the chicken that was not a chicken, had a baby that had a mutation, and that mutation is what made the modern chicken today. So at some point, there was the first chicken. Now evolution, it's a little tricky because there are no strong dividing lines. You know, at what point was a crow a crow? At what point was a human a human? It's evolution works in blurry lines, but at some point you do have to draw a line and say, hey, this is the mutation that made it from what we're calling bird A to calling it bird B. That mutation had to happen, and so at some point there was the first chicken. But that chicken came from an egg that was laid by its mother. So what came first, the chicken or the egg? The egg. Obviously the egg. Just a basic understanding of evolution, the egg had to have come first. There we go. Now we've got that question answered. We're done. Bambi. We all love Bambi. Bambi, great. Which birds are orange and why? Well, here we got another question, much like the dinosaur one, you know. Which birds are orange and why? Well, this case, the answer certainly isn't all of them. But the answer is a lot of them. There are many, many orange birds. You know, look at them. Look at all these orange birds. They're so cute. I do like orange birds. They're almost kind of like Halloween birds. Especially since the vast majority of orange birds are orange and black. Halloween colors. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, Orioles is a whole family of birds. Lots of different orioles, and they're typically orange. Lots of different species there. Most species of robins have, orange feathers on their chests. There's sun conures, the Blackburrian warbler, the rufous hummingbird, the Guinean cock of the rock, the Eurasian bullfinch, the ruddy kingfisher, the orange fruit dove, the varied thrush. I mean, that's just to name a few. There are so many birds with orange feathers. And, it's like, okay, how do you say, is this bird orange? Does it have to be entirely orange? Does it have to be mostly orange? Or just some orange? I don't know. I'm not going to draw the line. But there are a lot of orange birds, and you heard me. Oh, hey, Bambi, I'm answering your question. Hey, I'm answering, but birds are orange. Hi, Bambi. Good friend, Bambi. Yeah. So, yeah. Which birds are orange? Well, these birds are orange. The ones I listed earlier are orange. But there's lots and lots of orange birds. And, look it up. Yeah. The Guinean cock of the rock. Ooh, look that one up. That one's cool. I couldn't get a picture of it that wasn't copyrighted, so unfortunately I don't have one to share with you today, but, they're pretty cool looking. The orange fruit dove, same. Oh, they're pretty neat. Top left there is an oriole. Yeah, I think the bottom right is also an oriole. And I think there's 3 orioles on this picture because they're kind of the standard. But why? I'm getting to that. Okay, so why are they orange? Well, I guess it depends on, are you talking biologically, or it's like, oh, why are they orange? Well, orange birds are technically birds that, you ever heard the phrase, you are what you eat? Orange birds often eat a lot of foods that have carotenoid pigments in it. So carotenoid pigments are basically stuff could be in insects, could be in fruits and nuts and stuff that are orange in color. And their bodies absorb those carotenoids, and it goes into their feathers and gives it that kind of color. And so then the structure of the feathers can give off that iridescent orange glow. And typically, newer feathers, so if they've recently been preened and, newer feathers, those are going to be brighter and more orange in color. And, so why have nice bright orange? Well, as is often typical in birds, they want to have those bright orange colors as a mating display. Female orange birds like male birds that have bright orange feathers. And the brighter and more vibrant their orange colors are, the more that ladybird is like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll have your babies because I want my babies to have nice orange. Yeah, big orange. Big orange. So, I mean, a lot of that was really more how, why, I don't know, why can almost sometimes imply like an intent behind it, but that's just evolution, baby. They evolved, they have orange feathers because at some point having orange feathers was evolutionarily beneficial for them to have orange. And so now we have the many orange birds of the world. So yeah, look at them. Lots of great orange birds. I like orange birds. Orange is a good color. It's one of my favorite colors. I think it's great. Kind of Halloweenish. Oh yeah, we're going to be doing the Oriole. We're going to be doing the Oriole in October as because they got the Halloween colors. It's great. So thank you, Bambi. Good question. That was a fun one to answer. The next one from Twitter, Shoshana Landy. Which bird is the snarkiest? Well, this one took me about 2 seconds to answer. The mockingbird. Next question. Who would win in a fight? An ostrich or an emu? Alternatively, who would win in a fight? An ostrich or an emo? Well, Allie Butt, thank you for this question. I think it's a good question. We're going to have to... Let's see here. On the left, we have our emu. In the center, we have our ostrich. And on the right, we have our emo. So, who would win in a fight? Well, the ostrich is significantly bigger than the emu, can run faster than the emu, is stronger than the emu, has sharper talons than the emu. Yeah, gonna have to give this one to the ostrich. It's kind of like having a lightweight go boxing against a heavyweight. I'm sorry, emu, but the ostrich is just bigger. Now, ostrich versus emo. Well, again, size category. Emos are kind of just depressed and sad and, wouldn't have the spirit for it. But an ostrich, ostrich wants to fight. Yeah, you better watch out. Yeah, they'll mess you up. You ever seen their claws? Woo, nasty. So again, I gotta give this to the ostrich. Ostrich would win and fight against all of them. Now you might be wondering, whoa, what about an emu versus an emo? Well, I tell you, if the Australian army couldn't defeat emus, what chance do a bunch of whiny teenagers have? Gotta go with the emu, not the emo. Sorry, that's just the way it is. All right, Kyoko Noir, or Noir Kyoko in the chat. Here's your question. It's a good question. Why do flamingos stand on one leg all the time? Well, because that's something that you often see, as pictured here. A flamingo just standing on one leg. Why do they do that? Why do they do that? Well, kind of interesting how. So, when a flamingo stands on one leg, the structure of their leg does something real interesting. They're able to plant their talons down on the ground, and then their leg goes into a locked position. And that locked position allows them to balance very easily. It's almost like their feet spread out real good, so it becomes very stable. So, they can lean a little bit in certain directions, and they're still going to be there. Think of it as like a pole with a nice, good, flat stand on the bottom. And then their legs, when they're locked up like that, they can just sit there, and it requires zero muscle activity to stand on that one leg. So when they're standing on one leg, balanced like that, yeah, literally zero effort for them. So they can just stand there, take a nap. They just stand and they're good. So why do they do that? Because the way that their legs are structured, it doesn't take any effort to do it. Oddly enough, when they put both legs down, it throws off that balance and they do have to work a little bit. Not a lot, about the same as you humans take to stand on two legs. But you stand still for a long time, you start to get a little tired. But not flamingos on one leg. Flamingos on two legs, yeah, it's like that. But flamingos on one leg, it just gets into that nice locked position, and that flamingo will stand. You want to hear an even crazier thing? They've taken flamingos who have passed on and positioned their legs in that locked position, and they stayed standing. That's right, a dead flamingo can stand on one leg. Crazy. Biology is crazy. How they evolved to be like that? I don't know. But why do they do it? Well, because it's easy. Simple. That was a good question. Thanks. I had fun researching that. All right, Giga Peon. Why do birds have hollow bones? Seems like poor planning on their part. Well, Giga, come on. Why do they have hollow bones? So they can fly! Duh! Yeah, I mean, come on. This is basic stuff. Yeah, you're right, Kyoko. Basic stuff. When you are flying, to make flight, you gotta have a lot of factors. A lot of important factors. And weight is one of those most important ones. The heavier you weigh, the more lift you need to have to overcome that weight. And, bones in mammals and stuff, that's one of the heaviest parts of the body. But if your bones are light and thin and hollow, add so much less weight, so much less. That's why birds weigh so little. Yeah, lots of factors. What about chickens? You need to rewatch my chicken episode, Giga. And ostriches don't... Look, they evolved that way. And you know what? Lightness has more benefits other than flight. It also has to do with other types of dexterity and speed. With penguins, could help them swim better, a little bit lighter, get them back up to the surface. But also, penguins and ostriches and chickens, they all have much denser muscles, much higher muscle density. So they kind of make up for it. Yeah, ostrich definitely specialized for ass beating. They will beat your ass. So, now, obviously, as you say with the seem like poor planning, it does have its disadvantages. Because, of course, being much lighter, a bone in a bird is much more fragile. So, they just decided they kind of went with, never played Dark Souls, I guess? They're the rogue class that just is sucking and rolling all the time. They put all of their stats into dexterity and evasion while having low hit points and constitution. So they're like, well, my defense is I'm just never going to get hit. And, doesn't always work out for them. But, being able to fly, that's pretty good for evasion. And again, there are thousands and thousands of different bird species. It's just kind of how it is. So yeah. So that's, what do they have? So, my thoughts? My thoughts is, well, that's a pretty handsome looking crow right there. But yeah, I appreciated your questions. This was really fun. Getting all your questions and answering them. We're definitely going to do this again sometime. Oh, it was so much fun. I appreciate everybody who submitted a question. Everybody who's in the chat today. Yeah, you all submitted questions. So, yeah, we'll do this again sometime. Who knows? Who knows when? Maybe we'll do it like once a month or something. Seems like a fun thing to do once a month. Yeah. Because there's so much more to talk about birds. So much more. And don't forget to hop in and suggest new birds for Birds of the Day. Always looking for suggestions for that. I mean, I don't need the suggestions. I got a list of birds I want to do that's hundreds of birds long. But I like to please the crowd. If there's a bird you want to hear about, you just let me know. And I will cover it. I promise. I promise I will. So, yeah, my thoughts was this was fun, and I'm hoping we can do it again sometime. Okay, getting out of this now.